You're welcome back. So the defect name we are giving is presbyopia, the person who is unable to see the nearer objects clearly and also unable to see the far objects clearly. Right? So that defect we are naming as presbyopia. Here it is also called as, this defect also called as presbyopia. Actually, this defect will be observed in the people, right, after 40 years age. After 40 years age. So that's why it is called as aging defect. Also called as aging defect. So here, why this defect actually observed in the people above 40 years age? Because their muscle strength will be decreases, right? They are unable to convert the light rays effectively. So that is the reason to get this defect actually. So presbyopia is a defect of age. So that's why called as aging defect. Then here it is actually failure of ciliary muscles to accommodate the focal length. So what is accommodation? Adjusting the focal length of eyelids from minimum to maximum or maximum to minimum in between 2.27 to 2.50. Right? So here they cannot adjust to 2.27. They cannot adjust to 2.50. The focal length of eye lens of this defect person lie in between, not exactly to the 2.27, not exactly to the 2.25. It is adjusted above 2.27 and below 2.50. So maximum focal length is lower than 2.50. Minimum focal length will be greater than 2.27. Right? Then here, this defect person just feels difficult to see the nearer objects and also far objects because near focal length, minimum focal length is greater than 2.27. So cannot form the image of the object which is placed at 25 centimeters on the retina. So that image will be beyond the retina. If the object is placed far, that focal length of the eye lens of this defect person will be adjusted less than 2.50, right? Then the image will be before the retina. So in these two cases, unable to see. In between them, he is able to see. So how to correct this defect? How we are unable to change the strength of the muscles here. So ciliary muscles are already weak. We are unable to do anything, right? So this defect mainly caused by the ciliary muscles weakness. That defect will be corrected by using the combined lens. Why combined lens? Because here to correct the defect, if he is unable to see the far objects, we required concave lens, right? To correct the defects which is unable to see near objects, convex lens. So by combining of these two lenses, concave and convex lens, you will get a different lens called a bifocal lens. So combined lens we are using here called as bifocal lens, right? So here simply this defect is due to the weakness of ciliary muscles, decrease in the flexibility of eyelids. Right? This defect causes weakness of ciliary muscles and that flexibility decreased in the eyelids. So it cannot adjust to the lowest radius and highest radius. So this is the defect. So here you are selected a lens. What lens you are selected? That is called a bifocal lens. Bifocal lens means what? It is a combination of two lenses. Suppose in your spectacles, you are using a combined focal lens, right? You are using a combined lens. So what the combined lens actually? So here consists two portions in it, like this, or sometimes you may see like this, right? Anything they can take, design. Okay. So here, one is to see the nearer object and the other is to see the far objects, right? One is to see the nearer objects, one is to see the far objects, right? So here, this downside portion will help you to see the nearer objects, right? This upper portion will help you to see the far objects. Can you predict that lens which help you to see the nearer objects? What type of lens will help you to see the nearer objects? Is it concave lens or convex lens? Nearer objects.
Sir, convex lens.
Right. So here, which portion will be with the convex lens in your specs? What you can expect? This is upper portion. This is downward portion, bottom. Lower portion. So what you can expect the type of lens in the lower portion? Will it be concave or convex? That lower portion helps us to see the nearer objects. So nearer objects images will be shown by convex lens. So lower portion generally convex lens and the upper portion will be concave lens to see the far objects. Concave lens is used to correct the defect of myopia, right? Convex lens will be used to defect hypermetropia. See. So presbyopia is what? Combination of two defects, hypermetropia and presbyopia. Are you clear about this defect? Is it clear or confusing you? Anybody? Give me your response. Unmute. Rohit. Sorry, disconnected. Am I audible? Am I audible? Hello? Right. Maybe it is because of lower connection of internet. Very slow. Bad connection. Right. Give me your response. Are you clear about presbyopia? Speak out. Speak out. Vikrant.
Yes, sir, clear.
Yes. Right. So now we'll go for another. How you are correcting this defect? How you are correcting this defect, presbyopia? How we are correcting this?
Bifocal.
Using bifocal lens, combination of convex and concave lens. Which is lower portion? Lower portion is helps us to see the nearer objects. That nearer objects will be shown by the convex lens. Upper portion to see the far objects, that will be by the concave lens. Right? Then we'll go for another. So before going that, here it is given, last point of that. Then see the defects, differences. Myopia and hypermetropia comparison. So here myopia is what simply helps us to just this defect, not helper. This defect person able to see the nearer objects clearly, but not far objects. Hypermetropia, he can see the far objects clearly, but not by the nearer objects. Right? Then myopia, also called as short-sightedness or nearsightedness. Short-sightedness or nearsightedness. Hypermetropia, far-sightedness or nearsightedness. Right? So here, to correct this defect, right? To correct this defect, we are using a lens. Okay. Here, where you are expecting the image, is it before the retina or beyond the retina? So diagram already we drawn. Diagram already we are drawn. Screen is not shared. I shared the screen. Just wait. Maybe bad internet connection today. Now it's okay. Are you able to see the screen? Visible? My screen is visible. Am I audible? Now screen is visible. Are you able to see my screen? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, visible, right? So I'm discussing the defects, differences, right? So myopia, already we know, visible clearly, which is at least distance, but invisible at infinity. So that only I am written as first point in the myopia. Hypermetropia, far is very clear, nearby objects, invisible. Then myopia, also known as nearsightedness or short-sightedness. Hypermetropia, far-sightedness or any other? Nothing. Okay, then here, where the image is obtained in myopia defect, the image is obtained for the far objects before the retina. For hypermetropia, if the object is placed nearby distance, the image will be beyond the retina, right behind the retina. Then here, simply, we are able to identify the myopia defect person by observing the eyeball. So elongated or larger convergence of eye. So here, if you are able to observe the difference in the eyeball, you are able to find out. Otherwise, it is somewhat difficult, only possible by the eye specialist, right? So don't go for the next point here. Systematic, just following that, what happens in this defect that becomes blurred. What are the symptoms? What are the symptoms? Headache, blurred eyesight, right? So these type of symptoms you can see. Then hypermetropia defect. In this also you can see headache in kids, right? Crossed eye. Just you can see in the difference in their eye shapes, right? So these are the significance or that problems we may face with this defect to identify this. So these are the myopia and hypermetropia